everyone. This is Dr. Teresa Dale at Natural Health Radio, and I'm just working with my microphone for the minute. But welcome to Natural Health Radio, and we are so happy that you're here today, and also on Facebook Live. And thank you. And Daryl Wayne is here as well too, and the great insane Daryl Wayne. So hi.
Greetings, Dr. Dale. Welcome back.
So we are ready. We have a few segments for you today to go through that we want to share with you information about food as medicine, the politics of health, and also about your emotions. But first, we're going to, everything in the news is pretty amazing to me. Every time I turn on the news is all about shootings. The news is all about disasters and shootings. And I want to give you some good news today. I want to give you some good news. That's not expensive, by the way. Some good inexpensive news, all right? One of these things is about a nutraceutical supplement that is very simple that I have been using for many years and recommending for many years, and it's called B3. It's niacinamide, and I've been telling my patients about the efficacy of niacinamide, and I make it, and I've been talking about it for many, many, many years, like 20 years, maybe more, and about how it's useful for the cardiovascular system, how it stops and will affect blood sugar in a positive way, whereby it will help lower blood sugar if you have diabetes. This is proven. Everything I'm saying is proven now. Proven. Medscape, you can check it out. And it helps the heart, cardiovascular system, phenomenal for the brain, fantastic for your memory, for your mind, for your circulatory system, which goes up into your brain. But I've also recommended it for cancer for many years because it does so many positive things. It always tests good for cancer. And they just announced in Medscape and PubMed that niacinamide is used to cure cancer. There are certain types of cancer, they say right now, but I would say that it will help alleviate stress, and it will help the circulatory system and help all the good guys in your body, including your immune system, to fight cancer, any kind of cancer. But what they talk about now that it's good for different types of melanoma, different types of cancer. Okay, so whether it's basal cell or whatever kind it is, doctors are recommending niacinamide. You want to get one from the United States, not one from China, because of all of the contaminants that are in it. And, you've got your, whether it's melamine or heavy metals in things that come from China. So that's why I make it from and source the ingredients myself from the United States. And it has no magnesium stearate in it. It's in veggie caps, which is made from celery. And so everything is clean, no stearic acid, no coloring, nothing like this. So the quality is extremely important, and the efficacy. If you want something to work with your body, it has to be clean, or instead of you're spending money for something that you want to do positive things, you're spending money for something that will do negative things and toxify the body. So we don't want to toxify the body. What we want to do is help the body cure itself, heal itself. And that is why I'm telling you about niacinamide. I take it every day. And it's great for your mind, your memory, your circulatory system, including your brain circulation. It's phenomenal. So it handles so many different things that it's almost something you can't be without. I also make a supplement, a multiple vitamin that has a little bit of it in there, and that's Optimal Multi Pro. It has some niacinamide in there, as well as ashwagandha, curcumin. It has a lot of different B vitamins, wonderful things in there. But you need an extra niacinamide. You should take about 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams a day of niacinamide in order for it to be used for serious things like cancer or blood sugar. You need to take enough of it. You have no flushing after you take it, no side effects whatsoever. So this is good news I bring you today of something that's relatively inexpensive that you could start taking every day to make your life better. And you'll notice a difference after you take it as well. I know every time I take it, I notice a difference. And I am very fussy about what I use in my product, so I know you'll be happy with it. And it's fresh. I don't, when I make supplements, I don't buy supplements sitting on the manufacturer's shelf for 6 months or a year or however long it is. When I make supplements, I make them order my ingredients. When I order the product from them, they put an order in for the ingredients at that time. So nothing that I use is old, and that gives it a longer shelf life when you get it. Or when you buy it from me, you're getting something that's good and that will work and be just as efficacious as the day it was put into the bottle and made up for you, because of the way it's prepared and packaged. So we want to just make sure you are aware of niacinamide, and that if you have blood sugar disorder, or you know someone in your family or a friend, please recommend to them niacinamide. It has no toxic side effects whatsoever. It can only do good, and it can only help bring high blood pressure, blood sugar down. So it'll also work on blood pressure, bring high blood pressure down, but it is really most noted as being one of the most important things for diabetics, to get control of it, to bring it down, to normalize it. And you can see a difference in the blood when you do a blood glucose monitor and you're checking your blood sugar. You take the niacinamide, take 1,500 milligrams, take your blood glucose 15, 20 minutes later, and you'll see what it does. So you take it before, you can take it after, test it out. You'll see what I'm saying is true. Yes, and it works with blood pressure. Absolutely phenomenal for high blood pressure. So this is a lot easier and more inexpensive, and no toxic side effects like in medications. You can do some research about that on my website. You can go to thewellnesscenter.net, click on products, okay, and then you'll see where to go, because you'll have so many choices. So you can, not confusing, so many choices, but just so many choices so that you can look at different things. We like that. So lots of people, when they go to the Wellness Center, then what they do is they go to they can go to the product store, or they can go to an information page. They can learn about all kinds of things, and we encourage your education. That's the most important thing, because, Daryl, education is power.
Absolutely.
And that's where the power is, and making a good decision requires education.
And education shows you where the knowledge is at.
Yeah. And then you can actually help yourself just by doing niacinamide. It would be a great thing. If you wanted to add anything to that, I would add the Optimal Multi Pro, which is a multiple vitamin, and the Nano-Ionic Multiple with silica, which is ionic phenomenal minerals.
This is Natural Health Radio with Dr. Teresa Dale, your host. This is Using Food as Medicine.
And we're going to talk just about food as medicine. It's one of our most popular segments. People are enjoying learning how to heal their body with food. okay? And it's something that you want to look at. There's different methods of healing your body with food. You're not going to do it with paleo. Not possible, unless it's a vegetarian paleo. You are going to do it with two different methodologies, okay? Actually, three. One would be vegan food, vegan diet, okay? And if you were going to heal your body, I would eliminate all grains except for quinoa and rice, okay? That would be one method of healing your body. And when you're eating vegan, include fruit, but only eat fruit that is very low on the glycemic index. So you're looking at blueberries, you're looking at blackberries, you're looking at raspberries, okay? Those are the lowest on the glycemic index. Okay, so veganism is no cheese, it's you don't want to eat a lot of grains, like I said, and you don't want to eat dairy products, milk, or butter. Butter is saturated fat at its highest. A lot of people today are putting it in their coffee, which there's two bad things that you're putting together in your coffee and then you're consuming them. I have looked at all the research related to that, and I find that it's very unhealthy to do that, because butter is dairy, is cream, is cheese, is saturated fat. It is mucus producing. Those people who have an inflammatory process going on in their body, if you have inflammation, you want to eliminate all dairy products and eat a vegan diet, And, vegan diet doesn't mean forever. And this is one method I'm telling you about. We're still talking about vegan diet, okay? And you don't have to do it forever. Just try it for 2 weeks. See how much better you can feel, right? And then you could continue with it if you'd like, or you could do a modified vegan diet. The other way to help yourself heal your body would be to do macrobiotic. Now, macrobiotic is fantastic. It has no animal products except for fish occasionally, and that would be a fish from the Atlantic, not from the West Coast, which is filled with radiation. So you want to get a fish from the Atlantic Ocean, and try to get salmon from Scotland or Norway or Iceland, fish from Iceland that's not frozen but fresh. So you may find some things like that, and I would stay away from farmed fish unless it's sustainably farmed and it's not given hormones, antibiotics, or coloring. Okay, so the macrobiotic diet, it has too many grains in it. I mean, it's brown rice. They recommend brown rice, quinoa, but the quantity of it per day, people are relying on rice grains too much, okay? So I would suggest you use macrobiotic diet in the following way, following their principles of eating yin and yang food in a balance. Yin vegetables are those vegetables that are growing higher off the ground. The higher it is off the ground, the more yin it is. Like tomatoes are very yin. Any of the fruits that grow on trees are very yin, okay? So if you're eating, and I don't recommend eating tomatoes, I really don't, but you want to eat food that will bring a neutrality to your body. The only grain that is neutral is brown rice. That is the only grain that is neutral. Quinoa is the second grain closest to it. Okay? Now, as far as vegetables, there are root vegetables, there are carrots, parsnips. You've got daikon radish, which is good for your digestive system, and you can use daikon radish to handle any digestive problem. Just buy daikon radish and don't cook it, but have it raw in a smoothie, or cut it up and have little pieces of it with your meal. It's extremely good for your digestive system. And then, of course, you have ginger and turmeric. Those are all root things, right? And then beets are root vegetables as well, and they have the yellow beets or the red beets. You don't want to, they do have a higher sugar content, but beets are very good for you. And then, of course, a root vegetable would be potatoes and sweet potatoes and yams. Okay, so those are more of the root vegetable type things. And then the vegetables that grow above the ground, like zucchinis, peppers, kale, spinach, lettuce, eggplants even grow above the ground. You know, all of these other vegetables that grow above the ground are more yin. Okay, and you know, zucchinis any color, acorn squash, butternut squash, delicious. I make a butternut squash soup with hazelnuts that is to die for, and there's only 2 ingredients in it. Okay, you can add a little salt if you want to, but it's darn good. It's like a 5-star restaurant good, and I make it in a Vitamix. So the thing is, using food as medicine is very easy if you just understand the yin-yang part of food. And when you're having yin vegetables, balance it with the yang vegetable. And then if you want something neutral, you can have a little rice with it, or a little rice pasta. Not a whole bowl of rice, but a little rice. If you want to put something good on your vegetables, I would get Trader Joe's has an organic raw tahini that is delicious, and you could drizzle some tahini on the brown rice, drizzle it on the veggies, and that's all from seeds. Tahini is from sesame seeds. So you're eating really good food, and tahinis have some protein in it too. Broccoli is very good. It's yin. It's like a flower the way it grows. Cauliflower is yin, okay? You don't want to go too extreme yin, like tomatoes, okay? And if you have fruit in a macrobiotic diet, you want it baked. You want it cooked. You want it so you can bake an apple. You can bake a pear. Okay? And that is just a little bit about a macrobiotic diet. It doesn't include meat. It includes fish, maybe once a week. Okay? But eating tahini and almond butter and those kinds of things are very, very good for the body, very helpful. Almonds are great, but you have to chew them up, and your body has to break them down. Almond butter that's raw and organic is really healthy, and you could put that and make a little sauce with that, and put that over your vegetables as well as with the tahini. So I would say that my favorite is really a combination between the vegan diet and the macrobiotic diet. The macrobiotic diet doesn't have sugar, it doesn't have dairy, it doesn't have any dairy, any butter, because macrobiotic diet was developed for cancer patients. You cannot get rid of a serious health issue with a food that's inflammatory. So dairy is totally inflammatory and mucus producing, whether it's goat cheese, sheep cheese, or cow cheese, it's all inflammatory. Macrobiotic diet doesn't have dairy, doesn't have animal products except for fish. Vegan diet has no fish, no animal products, no dairy, okay, no sugar, okay, and also very little grains. But it doesn't use that yin-yang principle, which is really wonderful. You can feel a difference when you eat that way. So we want to definitely use food as medicine.
This is Natural Health Radio with Dr. Teresa Dale. This is Emotions and Your Health.
And now we're going to be talking about emotions in your health, another area that is so very important to cover because many people miss it. You're wondering about doing all of these great things for your body, okay, doing all these wonderful things for your health, all right? And you're going to all of these different people for nutritional support. And what you're leaving out is dealing with your emotions, because emotions can cause that are repressed, emotions that you have that you're not aware of, you're having them, and because they are suppressed and maybe you're unconscious about them, those hidden things cause disease. And every disease has an emotional component attached to it. Every single one, no matter what you have, there is an emotional component attached to it. So we need to understand that working on your emotions it's crucially important. To help you with this, so you don't need to do 20 years of therapy, how about that? Another bit of good news today, right? You can go to my website and get a book, my first book, called Transform Your Emotional DNA. Okay? And I wrote it in 1995, Transform Your Emotional DNA. Then you can pick up the Neuro-Emotional Remedies. There are 13 of them. You have 12 meridians. There's an extra one because there's men and women. So men have a remedy, women have a remedy for the entire endocrine system. It is amazing. So you need to get the Neuro-Emotional Remedies and learn how to use them in the book Transform Your Emotional DNA. You can go to our website, wellnesscenter.net. At the top, you'll see on the green link, you'll see free self-tests. You can go in there and take the wellness, it's a neuro-emotional survey. And you can do it by yourself. And just by filling it out, you'll know which neuroemotional remedies you need the most to start with. And you just follow the directions on the label. So easy. You bring up an emotion like anger or whatever it may be. You feel it fully for a minute. You put the 5 drops under your tongue. And in a few seconds, you can't find that feeling anymore. Just a few seconds. You can't find that feeling anymore. Whether it's anger, frustration, rage, whether you have political rage because you're upset that politicians, you don't know who's telling the truth and you don't know what's going on, and the whole politics scenario make people crazy. Take a neuroemotional remedy for it so that you can calm down, bring some sanity into it, and you can start being more neutral when you're watching people and maybe read a little bit of truth into something that somebody says, right? So your emotions are key. Connected to cancer, there could be a number of identities, and those identities stimulate emotions. So an identity like, for example, a person who is abused, in their life, that's one identity, but it could have 400 different emotional components to it because the identity stimulates the emotions. So you need to get the identity, and those are all both connected to belief systems. An identity is a persona. It's who you really believe you are. Some people walk into my office and say, I'm depressed. I go, what are you depressed about? I'm a failure. I go, well, that's your problem, is you really believe you're a failure. Yeah, my father told me, or I learned it then I learned it somewhere ever. And so we work on the emotion and on the identity of being a failure because that affects every part of your life when you really believe that about yourself. That's not true. There's no part of that that's true. Every part of you is success because you made it to Earth. You were born, and that is the biggest success I could think of anybody doing is being brought into the world as life, with an opportunity to do anything you want to do. You just didn't know that when you were born because no one told you, probably. Maybe not. Maybe someone told you that. But I would imagine a lot of our problems go back to our childhood, and we could just learn from those experiences and understand that we are powerful, We are important. We have a purpose. You have a mission and purpose. And if you don't think you do, then you need to use the Meta Wellness Program, get the Transform Your Emotional DNA book, and then by getting the Meta Wellness Program and buying that book, you will have my complete system, and you will be able to heal your body, heal your mind, heal your emotions, heal your relationships. Sometimes it takes two people to heal the relationship, right? Yeah, both people have to work on it, but oftentimes not. Sometimes there's a certain energy or vibration that you're projecting to your partner. And when that vibration and energy is changed, is released, your partner will have different reactions or different responses to you. I've seen that so many times. Just one person working on themselves, what a difference it can make to our universe. You're important in our universe. Whatever you hold in your consciousness is important. Being that you know that, right? Because I'm telling you that, and maybe you knew that before. Wherever you are in the process, work on it more. Get the book, get the Meta Wellness Program, work on your belief systems and your identities, and then we will truly be healing the planet together. Just thinking about it is good, but it's not the action step that you need. You need an action step, and that step would be to actually get the Meta Wellness Program and the booklet that comes with it and the whole system where you can work on it. We had someone 12 years old working on it. So it's not difficult. It's laid out simply. And it's a technique you can use for the rest of your life. And I would take it from there. Actually, to say that to have a great life, you can't stop working on it. There's always something to work on. There's always something to evolve. There's some thought that can change, and that's the kind of thing that I look at every day. What kind of thoughts do I need to change today? Is there something I need to change today to do a better job at certain things? I think about that all the time because I have a business and I have a staff and I have patients. And so that has caused me to do so much research on a daily basis for my patients, for myself, and research to bring to you about, like what I was saying about niacinamide. Very important for you because, and it's important for me, it's important for everybody to get a handle on their health and take only things that are clean, that are going to do something positive, that are proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. Okay? So that's what I'm presenting to you. And we are going to move on now to the next thing. And
this is Natural Health Radio with Dr. Teresa Dale. This is your health, freedom, and politics.
Yeah, and this is a sad topic for me, health, freedom, and politics, because I don't think we have health freedom in the United States. And, I wish I could say it differently. I wish I could be more positive. I would say we have the health freedom to figure out what to take for ourselves, but you're not going to hear it from your doctor. In other words, you have health freedom. You can make choices, but your doctor's not going to tell you about them. That's why I believe we don't have health freedom in the normal sense, because if we did, you would go to your doctor and he would say, you could do this, you could do niacinamide, you could take curcumin, you could take this drug, you could get a surgery, you could go to this country and get this treatment, you could get ozone therapy for your blood for cancer, which works amazing. We don't have that. That is what you call health freedom, okay? So that is the freedom to make choices, but you don't know what your choices are unless you hear it on the show or you research it by yourself or your doctor tells you. And in my opinion, medical doctors are not going to tell you all of that. They're just going to give you the traditional ways of doing things. And those are the ways that are the most harmful. There are a multiplicity of ways to get the job done that have no side effects whatsoever. Okay? And that's what I bring you on this show. A lot of that is, trying to get people to, when you're looking at politics and health freedom, is to know who and what the politician that's running for president stands for. What do they stand for? What do they believe in regarding health care? Are we going to have Medicare for all, traditional medicine for all? Is it going to include natural medicine like it does in other countries? In other countries, you've got homeopathic medicine in the hospital. Okay? That's why people get well and get out. They get out quickly. They can get out very quickly. If you have an ache in pain or an ache in your gallbladder, you don't necessarily have to take it out, but you do need to take a homeopathic remedy for it. I have a remedy called Neuroemotional Remedy number 2. It's for the gallbladder. It helps all gallbladder situations, including the emotion that causes the gallbladder to malfunction, which is resentment. Now, everybody has resentment from time to time, even you, Daryl.
I do.
You resent what? Politicians.
I do.
What else do you resent?
Ignorance.
And it's ignorance hurts people. Ignorance harms people.
Correct.
Think about that. So when you're listening to the news, when you're checking out all these politicians, their ignorance will affect your decision and actually harm possibly a beautiful, brilliant idea that's coming through you because somebody said something which is so stupid. I hear it every day, and it just causes me to turn the news off and things like that. We want to hear positive news, and we want to hear positivity. We want to know how we can make something work, how we can make our body work, how we can get excellent treatment that we don't have to wait a year to get. And if you want that right now, you could come check out our website, or you could go to Europe. You could go to Europe, you could go to Sweden, Norway, you could go to England, Scotland, Ireland. I'm going right down the coast. You could go to Portugal, you could go to France, you could go to Switzerland, Germany, Austria, Italy, any of those places, and have a different way to do things that is healthy. Some of it with food, most of it with homeopathic medicine, some of it even I've seen with using ions in equipment that's made in Germany, equipment that generates ions that is not allowed in the United States. You could do it with pulsed electromagnetic field, which is allowed in the United States. I have one. I use it on my patients, PEMF. They approved it in the United States for pain, right? So that was a good political thing that somebody set that up, that you could get certain equipment approved. That was very good, right? But it was originally made for cancer. And it was originally in the country, in the United States, used for cancer without getting approved by the FDA. So they kicked it out. But they would only approve it for pain coming back in. But I'm telling you, it was developed by Dr. Pappas in Greece. And he developed it for cancer. It's called pulse electromagnetic field. Many different types of PEMF equipment. Most of them don't work like that. They don't work according to the way that Tesla. See, Dr. Pappas made the PEMF. It's a Tesla device. If you use it like Tesla created it. Most people, when manufacturers make PEMF, they don't make professional units. They make units you can take home. It gives you a little frequencies, a little energy, but it's not a Tesla coil, okay? You want to use a piece of equipment that basically replicates a Tesla coil, what a Tesla coil would do. I have that. It cost me $25,000, okay? And it works exactly what it's supposed to work for. But other pieces of equipment where they try to use the name PEMF, yet, it doesn't work the same way because they don't have the same technology in it, or they've scaled it down to being that big and telling you it's PEMF. It's an impossibility. Pulsed electromagnetic fields is like you're creating what Tesla did, like lightning. You're creating treating with electricity that is put through coils so it's not harmful to you. And then the body is exposed to the coils or that energy. And I got to tell you, I just think it's miraculous. You don't have to spend $25,000. They make newer units now that are doing a similar thing for around 10 grand, but you're going to spend some money on it because it's the real thing. And ignorance, there you go, ignorance again. Most companies that sell PEMF, if it's not a genuine Tesla coil, they're not going to tell you it's not a genuine Tesla coil. They're going to tell you all the things that PEMF has been known to do, and they're going to make it like their equipment does that. And most of them don't. So the original Pappas, Dr. Pappas's device, is on 4 wheels. It weighs about 250 pounds. The original one, not the one that I have. I have a scaled down model. Okay. And the original one was around, I think around $250,000. And that was used for hospitals and things, and it's still used today overseas. Okay. So, PEMF will cure and is known to cure and is documented for curing concussions, contusions, cancer, just name it. Kidney malfunctions. Use it on your pancreas for diabetes. It's good for so many different things. But they have all these things. It's common practice to use all these things in Europe and the other countries that I mentioned. And the reason I'm telling you is not to get down on the United States. It's to educate you so that we can find a politician to be president who will allow us to use these things and write it off on insurance. We want to have these things in hospitals, don't we? I know you're saying yes.
I say yes.
Okay, and Daryl says yes.
Yeah, but we need companies to lease them to hospitals because that way the hospitals could pass the cost on.
Absolutely.
Because if the hospital buys it as a capital expenditure, then they can't charge the patients for it. They won't do it.
Right. So they have to lease it.
They have to lease the equipment, yeah.
All the equipment companies lease it. You can lease it. You can buy it. You can lease it. Especially the good units. You know, the unit that I have is it's phenomenal. And I had a concussion, and I used it on it. And I mean, all of it's short-lived because it's treating with light. It's treating with electricity its light generates. And that actually charges up the cells in your brain and everywhere. Okay, you can work on your chakras. You can work on your structure. It's not going to put a bone back in place if the bone's out of place, but it's going to nail all the inflammation. Any kind of discs that are rupturing, it's just going to do so many different things. Now, if you want to go to my website and read about that, you can, but you can also read online. And the cheaper equipment, it doesn't work like that. You're never going to find one that works like that because it has to generate lightning that flows through a tube. I'll bring it here sometime, and we'll do it on the show, and I'll show you what it is. And I only use equipment that's FDA registered. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be telling you about it. And it's FDA registered for pain. But it's also known to do many, many different things. And that's been written up in articles in abstracts, medical abstracts, scientific papers, and all of those kinds of things. So we know there are so many different things to use for healing. Homeopathy is the most powerful, and you can do it, get it done in Europe intravenously, drip it. You can do it intramuscularly, like an injection in your muscle. You can do homeopathy transdermal, like what I make, some transdermal hormone rejuvenation creams that balances your hormones without toxifying or causing any problems to your body. Or you can do it orally. You can do it vaginally. You can do it rectally. You can do homeopathy anywhere in your body and have it be effective. Certain things go in certain areas, however, because you wouldn't want to orally take a hemorrhoid cream. You want to have a hemorrhoid suppository that's homeopathic, and you want to use that rectally, right? So there's remedies that are useful for many different things, and we have to become aware that homeopathic medicine is the most powerful source of treatment because it handles the emotional components related to the disease all at once. So it's mind, body, spirit remedy. Helpful to that are the supplements that I have and the homeopathic remedies that I have, of course, on my website, drdaleswellnessstore.com or wellnesscenter.net. And then as an adjunct, you could use the pulsed electromagnetic field. You could go to a doctor who has a real Tesla coil and maybe they charge $65 a session. You might need 10 sessions, though. You may need 20 sessions. I use it on my body as a tune-up, every week. Just because it works so well and it keeps the inflammation down. Let's say I'm going out with someone, a friend, and we're going to this great restaurant that is all healthy, right? And they have a healthy cacao chocolate cake with coconut sugar. Or maybe it has cane sugar, which I don't like, cane sugar. So I'll eat something. And then I'll feel okay, but the next day I'll just do a PEMF treatment on my pancreas and on my body just to keep everything functioning well. I think it's very important that we have tools in our house to use. So you may check some of that information on our website. I would definitely get the Transform Your Emotional DNA book in the time that we have left. I also want to tell you about the book Revitalize Your Hormones. It would be an awesome book for you to start reading about hormone rejuvenation. It also tells you about your dental situation and gives you the dental tooth chart so you can find out the teeth related to the organ systems and glands, which are also related to emotions. And then you've got a biological age test where you can take that and find out what your real age is. See, your chronological age doesn't mean anything. Everything is about your biological age. How old is your liver functioning? Is your liver functioning like it's 80 years old? Or is your liver functioning like it's 30 years old? And I've had 30-year-old patients where their liver was functioning like they were 80 years old and they were really sick, right? You want to have all of your organs function like they were young. And if you do that, it reflects in your skin and your hair and your body and your attitude and everything. So we want to look at the biological age, get the Revitalize Your Hormones book, and do the biological age test that's in that book. It's a self-test. You'll find recipes. You'll find an emotional technique called the Resist and Desire process, and it will teach you how to work on your own emotions and your belief systems. And you're just going to find a wealth of information in that book. I would use it as a handbook for the rest of your life. It's that kind of book. So in the time that we have left, we have about 5 minutes. I want to remind you that every day when you get up, that you want to say good things to yourself. You want to get up and say, today is great. It's going to be a great day today. I'm going to have success today. I'm going to make the right decisions today. I'm going to feel great today. I'm going to feel fantastic today. And you're going to start the day with that. And by doing that, you're telling your body and your brain what to do. They're just going to do what you tell it to do. If you start the day with, what a miserable day, I'm up again. Oh, God, I have to do dishes. Oh, God, I forgot to do the laundry. Oh, God, I have to get dressed and go to work and feed the kids and the dog and then do this and this and this, and how am I going to do this? That's what your day is going to be like. Even if you had all those things to do, start the day with the positive, and that will make the process flow for you and put you in a better space and put you in a great space and allow you to feel good while you're doing all of those things, right? So just to remind you, wellnesscenter.net. Go there, learn about our membership, become a member. If you want to experience the success we're having and join us in our success, become an affiliate. And you'll make money by recommending our products to your friends. A membership is key for your education, to access protocols, to access things that are imperative if you have children, especially young children. You definitely want to go there and check that out as soon as you can. So I want to thank you so much for being with us today. We have just a few minutes left, and 3 minutes actually. And I wanted to tell you that someone emailed us, me specifically, about a question from last week. And that was, or was it the week before? It was about thermography. Okay, the question was the week before about thermography. Thermography is a type of testing that you do with a camera or without a camera, but most of them, the methodology has cameras, and it works with heat, hot and cold, with temperature of the body. And it can tell and see if you have cancer, if you have a predisposition for cancer. You can see something for 5 years before it actually manifests in physical form, right? So never do mammography, as it causes cancer because it emits radiation. So it's like a business trying to feed itself whenever you recommend mammography to someone.
And from my understanding, it hurts.
Yes, and it hurts. So it's all of those things. Don't do it. I don't care if you like your doctor. Don't do it for your doctor. Don't do it for anybody. Okay? Find a good thermography practitioner and someone who will go over it. The tests are read by a doctor afterwards. And then you will get the scoop on what they find. Okay? That is the best way to go. So, again, thank you so much. Hope I answered your question about thermography. It doesn't hurt. It's done with either a camera or a probe that is just touches acupuncture lymph points around your breasts and your body. Doesn't hurt, no feeling at all. It's the way to go, the safest thing to do. All right. I want to wish you a terrific week. We'll see you next Tuesday again. At 1 o'clock. This is Dr. Teresa Dale. You're on Natural Health Radio. Have a fantastic week and many blessings to everyone. Bye-bye for now.